In yesterday's video, we had used this little paintbrush to paint some accelerator onto some CA glue. And of course the CA glue, not really badly, but it glued our bristles together. I've used some debonder here, and I think I've got most of it here. I have to be so careful when I'm working with these things that I don't accidentally break something fragile off. Yeah, I think that's about right. Now, I don't very often give out tips. And when I do give out a tip, it's usually something like this. Here's a mistake that I made, and don't you make that mistake. And this is sort of one of those tips. Now, when I originally was going through all my parts with the Titanic kit, did I say Titanic? I meant the Bismarck kit. Got the Titanic on the brain, sorry. Anyway, when I went through all the parts originally, what I should have done is taken some of these parts and laid them on a piece of paper and traced around the outside to get the exact shape. Then what I could have done is I could have laid my fence on there and quite easily bent it to match up to the contour. Now, if you're a little bit good in photography, and I sort of think I am, what I probably would have done, now that I'm thinking about it, is I would have photographed my part. I would have laid it down and I would have photographed it straight down. And then I would have brought it up in my drawing program, and I happen to use CorelDRAW, and there's others out there, but I could then size it to, probably within 1/100th of an inch of the exact size and print it out on a piece of paper. And then I would know I had it right. But it's too late now because I've got a lot of these parts glued down, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I've got to try and work around a whole bunch of delicate little fragile pieces like guns and all the rest of it. So I do know that, at least I think I got this right, that one of the viewers said he has just got or is getting this same Bismarck kit. Now, if you haven't already started gluing your parts together, I would recommend that that's what you do. Take some of these parts and trace them out on a piece of paper. Or, if you're like me, photograph them and print them out to the exact size. It's just a thought here. Now, you're going to notice that we've got, as it happens, post to post here is exactly just a coincidence. It's the right size. I like coincidences like that. So I'm thinking, what I maybe could have done is taken my railing here and make the like this part right here is supposed to be. I'm trying so hard not to bend this thing. Okay, so it's supposed to be straight right here, but then we've got a little curve going on here, and then it goes straight, and we got another little curve. It would be really nice now if I had been able to lay it on a template and been able to bend it around and then set the thing down in place. It would be, well, it should be just exactly right. But of course I can't do that now. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and have a two-section piece, and then I'll make the rounded piece. I'll probably have to make this entire thing for both sides out of at least 3 different pieces, and possibly 5. We'll just see how it goes. A lot of you will remember, if you've been following this series right from the beginning, when we first got this kit. The Bismarck kit, not the Titanic. Okay. We photographed the entire manual. Every page. Now, I got curious a minute ago, and I thought, when was it that we published that thing about the manual? And it turns out, another coincidence. It will be a year tomorrow. Yeah, and it was called the Model Ship Instruction Manual. And as best I remember, it falls somewhere around episode number 30. And that included the parts list. Now, the part that we're working on right now is this over here. So let me close this up here. Okay. What I could do is I could probably take the photograph that I have in the computer right now from a year ago and sort of enlarge this section. Maybe we'll go back to the computer and see what it looks like. Or I can rephotograph this and maybe more straight down on it. Originally I was straight down right there. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but I might be able to rephotograph it, and if I sort of zoom in just in this one little area, this will be slightly sharper. Anyway, let's go back to the computer and see what we've got. Okay, up here on the left hand side, drawings and reference photos, the manual. Okay, now we know that we want the second page, so it'll be this one here. No, that's not the one we want. Where are we here? Battleship. Oh, sorry. We want this one. All right, here we go. All right, now, here's the piece over here. Let's see if we can zoom in on it just a little. Now I could probably use that, but I think if I rephotograph it and just concentrate, like use my telephoto lens and just, crop in just that one area, I can probably make it a little sharper. It probably won't be a whole lot more accurate, but let's give it a try and just see what we can do, just for the fun of it. And maybe, well, you know what? I don't think we're going to get any railing glued on today. Again. Okay, I want to make sure that I got my camera at the right angle so that the sensor is parallel to the surface of the page here, and I think I pretty well have. I'm using my macro lens, not the telephoto lens. This little part that we're trying to photograph here is small enough that the macro lens will work better than the telephoto. Okay, let's get it pretty well centered here. What I've done is I've programmed the camera so that when the mirror slaps up, there's a 1 second delay until the shutter goes off, and that way there will be very little shake. Now, if you will notice on the screen there, just slight moving around here. So I'm going to have to wait now until the camera settles down. And then when I push the button, you're going to hear a little beep. If you might hear it. My fridge is making a lot of noise back in the kitchen. Anyway, you should hear a beep. That will be, it's focused. And then you will hear the shutter click up, and a second later, or rather the mirror click up, and then a second later you will hear the shutter. Here we go. Okay, we should have it. Let's just check and see what we got now. Here's the picture we just took, and as you can see, it's pretty sharp. However, surprisingly, a crop of the one I took a year ago, adjusted to the same size, well, it's actually not that bad. It would have been actually usable. Now, mind you, whichever one I use, I do have to adjust it to size in CorelDRAW. Now, we've run out of time today to do that. That's going to have to come tomorrow. Now, let's assume that I did want to print out something that I could use. I don't need all that unnecessary black in there that's going to waste my toner. So I just took it out, and I only have the outline. It's only the outline I need. I'm just toggling back and forth here between the crop of last year's photo and the one we just took now. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.